The legends are back. Good morning, friends, and welcome to Trans India. Real people, real emotions. In today's episode, we are going to witness the relaunch of Ashok Leyland's iconic products, the Hippo and the Taurus, and as Ashok Leyland calls this, Return of the Legends. Revived for the modern era, Taurus represents the high horsepower tipper range, while Hippo anchors the tractor portfolio. The launch marks a return of names long synonymous with ruggedness and reliability, now re-engineered with next-generation technology to meet the evolving needs of India's economy. The legends were unveiled in New Delhi by Mr. Shenu Agarwal, Managing Director and CEO, and Sanjeev Kumar, President MNHCV at Ashok Leyland. Before unveiling the legends, Sanjeev Kumar addressed the media gathering, and this is what he had to say about the products.
Back in 80s, 90s, India was aggressively growing, and the entire nation was moving towards new era of progress. And powering this movement was Hippo and Taurus. Hippo, with its rugged aggregate, was built for demanding applications. It became image that customer is treated with heavy-duty cargo in India, big transformers, and big loads. For many transporters, Hippo stood for unwavering reliability. At the same time, Taurus cemented its legacy as India's first multi-axle tipper, defining the standards for heavy-duty operations. Its consistent performance in challenging conditions made it perfect choice for high-load applications across country. Even today, many of the operators in the country continue to refer it as Taurus. Hippo and Taurus have left a lasting influence on CV industry. The legacy we at Ashok Leyland are deeply proud of. Now as Bharat surges towards new era of growth and prosperity, we have reimagined these products, these two legendary brands, in new avatar. Taurus Hippo built to conquer, Hippo tractors powered for progress. Now let me talk about Hippo range of tractors. These tractors are designed keeping in view the evolving expectations of our customers. They are ideal for a range of applications like cement, steel, coal, over-dimensional cargoes, sand, blue metal. Hippo range is powered by our in-house 8-liter A-series engine with option of 360 horsepower and 320 horsepower with industry best torque at 1600 Newton meter and 1300 Newton meter. The range is tuned to deliver unmatched fuel efficiency, resulting in better economics for our customers. These products also come with suite of features aimed at driver comfort and safety. Let me now talk about Taurus range of tippers. Powered by 8-liter A-series engine, we offer options of 360 horsepower and 320 HP variants for your customer-specific needs. These tippers have industry-best torque of 1600 Newton meter and 1300 Newton meter, aimed at delivering high productivity and improved uptime for customer operations. Heavy-duty aggregates such as zero drop from front axle, heavy-duty gearbox, high-capacity bogie and front suspension are designed to tackle even heaviest load at tough terrains. We understand the importance of driver safety and comfort, and this range comes with a suite of features which will ensure that our customer drivers are never fatigued. We are offering XI support for our heavy-duty tippers with idea of uninterrupted operations. We will also guarantee air-trained supervisors, availability of genuine spare parts to maximize vehicle uptime. These comprehensive setups will also ensure vehicle performance and minimize the operation downtime. These offerings will be available for all deep mining applications where our tippers are deployed.
Before unveiling their products, Shenu Agarwal and Sanjeev Kumar took some questions from the media, and the following are excerpts of the responses. Alongside, you can also see the products being unveiled.
Legends return when purpose calls, when new demands require proven strength. Today is about performance reimagined for a new age. Power reawakened. Witness the return of the legends, Taurus and Hippo.
So this is about addressing the new requirements which we feel are emerging on the in the CV industry. We are seeing that government is really focusing on coming out with a lot of coal block auctions, and we expect these coal block auctions to lead to a lot of mining activities. These products, especially Taurus tipper, is meant to address those needs. While we have existing product range to take care of crossover needs, but we wanted a true mining tippers to address those needs. So this is about Taurus tipper. Talking about Hippo, as we just now spoke, it's more about reliving this iconic brand. If you recall, in 80s and 90s, Hippos were synonymous for actually taking entire over-dimensional market. They were the only brand which was present across India. And Hippo is it connects well with the customer in terms of reliability of this machine. And our idea was to create two variants. One, which could address existing needs of our customer, where probably duty cycles are very high. And second is about over-dimensional cargoes with our 6x4 tractor, to address needs like, you're seeing a huge, huge explosion in the requirements of those wind energy, and there, you need these trucks which can carry over-dimensional cargoes, and you're seeing a lot of action happening on private capex also. So things like transformers, larger, transformer blocks, boilers, etc. So these trucks are right now needed, and we feel that current range will address, and eventually we expect market to actually move towards higher horsepower, and that is where slowly these trucks will become core for Ashok Leyland.
I frankly don't know who are these so many new tipper manufacturers who are coming to the market. I mean, there are one or two who are trying with electric tippers. But still, I mean, we have always said that innovation is in the DNA of Ashok Leyland, right? And we normally generally you will see that when it comes to new customer needs, when it comes to new technologies, Ashok Leyland is always far ahead. You wouldn't believe that in 2011 we created the first prototype of an electric bus in India, when nobody even knew what electric could be in automobiles. Listen, this particular product launch that we are doing today, like Sanjeev also explained, is basically looking at the future needs of India. And India is changing very, very fast, as we all know. Our customer expectations are changing even faster. Like Sanjeev said, the highways are getting better. Lot of customers or lot of shippers are expecting much more faster turnaround times therefore. Whenever a highway gets built, it's not just like, it's not just an issue of infrastructure development, but the whole logistics efficiency increases on that particular route. And therefore, the expectation from the shipper is that can you get my cargo quicker? If it used to take 10 hours, can you bring it in 8 hours? Can you bring it in 7 hours? Right? And the only way to do it is, of course, look at the reliability of the truck. But I think the most important point is that you have to have the higher average speed, which now these new highways, they allow actually, but you have to have the higher average speed of the truck. And to do that, what is really required is that we put more torque in these vehicles. So basically what we have done is we have come up with this world-class next-gen engine, which we call A6 engine. That is our own Ashok Leyland's own engine. And we have really pumped more power and torque into this. Now it is not just a question of engine power and torque. You have to change the whole driveline and make it much more robust to suit that power and torque. So that is the basic essence. And we will see, we always used to think why Europe is selling 400, 500 horsepower trucks while India is still selling 200, 250. But that thing is now changing very, very fast. It won't be very long from now when we will see even more power and torque in our trucks in India. In CV industry, price does not sell, right? I mean, you cannot cut just the price by 10%, 20% and hope that these large fleet owners or any truck operator will buy your truck, right? So that is not the case, because I don't know if there are any fleet operators in the room right now, but if you ask them what is your number one criteria for buying a truck, they will always tell you it is service and parts. They will not tell you it is the truck itself. Right? Because uptime is much more important than anything else in our industry. And therefore, to establish a service network, a parts network in every nook and corner of the country, it is not a joke. Right? It takes it takes a lot of hard work, lot of patience and lot of time. Right? So we are not overly worried about Chinese competition. I mean, there are a lot of things to learn from that, which we will do, right? But a sense of our industry is service and then a great product, right? But service always comes first. We have one philosophy, and this is not from today, but Ashok Leyland has this philosophy from many, many years. And I just spoke about service, importance of service in the CV industry. And our export philosophy is that wherever we go outside India, we treat that market as our home market. Now, what home market means? Home market means like in India, India is our home. Like in India, we have an assembly plant, we have a manufacturing plant, we have supplier ecosystem. Then in India, we have a very strong distribution system, which provides a service, which provides parts, which sells the trucks. And we have local people, local talent who understand the local psyche of the customer, the local needs of the customer. They often live with the customer on a daily basis to understand what is going on with their trucks and what are the new needs. So this is what describes a home market. And similar is the philosophy when we go out. We do not want to just take a deal of 1,000 trucks and sell it to Cambodia, for example. Sometimes those orders come in, but we totally deny. So if you look at outside India, we have three home markets. One is SAARC, of course, which are the countries around us. I need not tell you that, for example, Bangladesh is a big market for us, and we have a huge factory in Bangladesh, right? So we are local. We have a local distributor partner who is providing service day in and day out. We are into every nook and corner of Bangladesh, like we are in India. The second home market is Middle East, which is actually now our biggest market. And we are very, very strong in UAE, we are very strong in Saudi, we are very strong in Qatar and many other markets in that MENA region. We have again a very large sophisticated plant in UAE, close to Dubai, and now we are setting up one in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, and so that is our export philosophy. Now, last point I would say is these products, they are now at the level which makes them attractive for some of these export markets, and therefore we will evaluate at a certain point in time, after we have had some experience of these in India, that we might take it into some other countries outside India also. I mean, I hear this a lot. Unfortunately, I am very new to the truck industry, just 3 years. But all the people who have been here tell me that this is very cost conscious. That is not the feeling I get when I meet the customers. Customers are not looking at cost anymore. Maybe in the past they were. Maybe even today there are some customers who are looking at just the cost. But customers are really looking for value more and more. Right? I mean, we had a meeting today with one of our customers in the morning, and the guy was, you wouldn't believe what the guy was talking about. He was talking about the future, he was talking about EV, he was talking about LNG, he was talking about TCO, not even for a moment the price issue came in. So see, I mean, that is just my view, and your view could be different. But as a company, what our collective view is that we are not going to play the price game in this business. And we have been demonstrating this for last couple of years. We want to add more and more value into our products and demand a price for that value from our customers. Now, these products that we are launching today are not, cheap, because they have huge amount of value in them. But I am sure that many of our customers would adopt these products and they would be very happy driving these new products, because they will give them what they really need, not just the price.
We have done an analysis of life cycle cost of the truck. Just to share with you, the asset cost is hardly 10% and 90% is cost of running that truck. So honestly, initial cost of the asset actually does not impact. It's more about how the truck is run, how it is maintained. And talking about these trucks, definitely these trucks are they'll be at some premium, and two, three things which will make these trucks achieve the TCO with our customer. One is they're capable of running long kilometers. These trucks, if I talk about Hippo, customer can actually run these trucks for 20,000 kilometers. Today, average running for a truck would be 7,000 to 8,000 for 55 tonner. Similarly, when I talk about Taurus tippers, these trucks are capable of running 24/7. And we were talking about at-site service. So idea is to ensure that the customer gets best out of these trucks in terms of productivity, and then get going. The initial cost actually does not make difference. We have our calculations where these initial costs can be recovered max in 1 or 2 years. You are right. Ultimately, India is a very, very fuel sensitive market. The general question is kitna deti hai. So just to answer you, in commercial vehicle, we don't only talk about fuel efficiency. We always talk about ton kmpl. So how many ton a truck is going to carry, and that at that tonnage what fuel efficiency it's giving. It's applicable for our tippers. So yes, I can tell you in terms of TCO or in terms of ton kmpl, our Taurus tippers will definitely do better than competition.
We have done extensive trial for last 2 years on these trucks, and we are pretty confident about the performance of these trucks in terms of fuel efficiency. Similarly, Hippo range, as I mentioned, there are two distinct applications. One is 4x2 tractors for applications like cement on-road applications, where enough work has been done to kind of ensure that these trucks are going to be definitely better than existing ones which are there in our stable. I can't share the exact values with you, but yes, for on-road application, fuel efficiency is going to be very important.
Just to add to this, so see, the fuel efficiency thing is very true. You are right. But see, every customer in India today, and especially in future, will not demand fuel efficiency. There are two types of customers. One customer is like Sanjeev said, I want to run the truck for 20,000 kilometers क्योंकि काम है मेरे पास 20,000 किलोमीटर का काम है, and therefore for this mindset of a customer, this type of a customer, the real thing is how much money your truck can make me earn in a month. It's not fuel efficiency. अगर पुराना ट्रक मेरे को X देता था तो will this truck give me 1.1, 1.2X? Now fuel is part of it, right? But fuel is not the only thing, right? So this type of the customer in India, because India is growing so fast, India is going to drive so much freight demand in future, that this type of customer segment will continue to grow. So, I mean, हर एक के लिए नहीं है ये गाड़ी. I mean, everybody will not buy a 360 horsepower vehicle, right? But there is a very large growing segment already, which will grow even further in future, which will demand more work from a tractor, more income from a truck, and more revenue from a truck, and not just look at fuel efficiency. So please remember this. Many times it happens that companies like us, especially like us, they have these technologies available and they have been put on the shelf, waiting for the right time. Now, you wouldn't believe that, just giving you an example, right? A normal transmission in a heavy-duty truck would cost roughly about 2 to 3 lakh rupees. Ashok Leyland has been selling few vehicles in some niche applications of a driveline, of a gearbox, which costs 3 times than this and is purely automatic, right? So it's not that we do not have the technology. Actually, we were the first one to have this technology in the country. We still use it in some of the special applications like defense, etc., and we do a lot of those vehicles. So sometimes it is just the right time when you want to bring these technologies into the mass market. But when it comes to technology, I can tell you with a lot of pride that nobody can beat us.
Yeah, I think it's happy days for CV industry. Q3 was really good, and I mean, honestly, when you look at CV industry, last 30, 40 years, whatever I have seen, it has been generally, 2 good years and then 3 bad years. That is all, that is what defines the CV industry. But last 4 years, after, in 2022, 23, we had a huge growth of almost 48%. Last 2 years have been kind of stagnant, plus minus 2-3%. And we were going through similar cycle till H1. And then, GST announcement came and the government also worked on interest rates. And ultimately, the larger, positive would be overall age of the fleet, which used to be around 8.5 years, has now touched almost 11 years. And operators were also waiting for all the positive cues from the government, and this acted as big trigger. And all combined, we are seeing a huge growth in the TIV, basically, led by all these operators. And at the same time, in parallel, Government of India started investing heavily on CapEx. You get to hear about new contracts coming in East, especially in Northeast. A lot of work is happening there. So overall, I think these are all positive triggers for the industry, and that is where we are seeing a huge growth. And growth is actually coming in all the segments. It's not that a particular segment is growing. We are seeing a growth almost in all the segments. And with the retail, especially the growth is coming in ICV trucks. Yes, we actually feel that this growth is going to continue next year. And I think as a manufacturer, we need to see how we ensure that we navigate nicely through these tailwinds. So yes, it's a positive time for CV industry.
When you even talk with people who own fleets or who own these trucks, they also realize that the newer trucks they have, like the BS6 ones, are far more efficient and productive than the BS3 and BS2 trucks that they have, right? So people do realize that they need to shift to a newer vehicle. What they are, I think, looking for is a trigger. Now, one of the triggers has just come, which is sort of this GST rationalization, which is not about the price cut as much as it is about the whole consumption economy picking up, which is adding to the freight demand. But I think another trigger could be, very fundamental trigger, could be some kind of a support on the scrappage. Now, scrappage should not be made mandatory because we should not put that extra burden on our customers that we have to force them to change their trucks, even if they are not willing to for some reason. But I think some kind of a trigger in terms of an incentive system or some other thing that government can think of, which can attract all these fleet owners to move to better products, newer products, more efficient products. I think if we can do this, this will be a big boost, not just for companies like us, but also for our customer fraternity. Outside product भी बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं हम ड्राइवर की सेफ्टी के लिए. And you might be aware that Ashok Leyland is one company in the CV industry in India which have 17 or 18 driver institutes? 18 driver institutes in the country. What we do in these institutes, because you know that we are in a severe shortage of drivers in this country. Actually, the entire world has severe shortage. So when there is a shortage, what do? So you take people who are freshers into the driving community, but ये freshers को पता नहीं है कि truck कैसे चलाना है. So what do? So I mean, you can make the product more safer, but you will also have to tell them that this is how you drive safely. This is what you need to do to be safe. This is how you deal with the product, right? And I mean, you compare it with others or don't compare, but we are very proud of this fact that every year we churn out thousands and thousands of drivers who are better experienced and more knowledgeable about driving or safely driving a truck.
There is no doubt that the commercial vehicle space is buzzing with activity and all the manufacturers are very upbeat about the future prospects. The last few months have seen a consistent rise in sales and the trend is likely to continue. The road transport industry may project issues and concerns, including the everlasting driver shortage, but nothing is holding back truck sales. We will continue our coverage of the logistics and commercial vehicle industry. So stay tuned and keep watching Trans India. We are real people, real emotions. Until next week, stay safe and drive safe. Jai Hind.